Let's talk about one of the major issues, major questions that everyone has. That if I'm coming from a non-IT background, can I get entry into the IT field? The question is multiple fold. So let's take each question, each point one by one, and let's try to understand as to how somebody who's from non-IT background can come into IT field. First filtering that we are going to be talking about is even if you're from non-IT field, are you coming from a technical background like engineering or MC or anything which is not related to IT but from technical field? Let's say you are from BE electronics. Or second option that you're going to be having is you have nothing to do with technology. Maybe you have done BA, maybe you are from architecture, maybe you're from agriculture. Then these two different streams will need to be treated differently. If you're from non-IT background but from technical background like electronics or any kind of engineering, then things would be a little easier for you as compared to somebody who's coming from a completely non-technical background. How do you get inside IT in that case? Basic requirement is going to be that in that case you need to know a little bit about programming. Primarily, you should be able to write code in C. You should be able to demonstrate that you have a good grasp of logic and reasoning. And primarily, what you will need to understand is how do I write code? So, coding is something which is going to be important. C programming, you can learn. C programming is typically nowadays is being taught in colleges as well. Mechanical or civil or electrical engineering, I believe, have some portion of programming as part of their syllabus. So maybe you should focus on that. Once you have a basic understanding of programming, then entry into the IT field becomes easy. The only constraint is that people are not going to be hiring just because you are an engineer. Some companies do, but even in that case, before you become productive, they would want you to train yourself on certain technologies. So identify a technology stack that you're comfortable with. Now, one more misconception about IT field is that IT field is all about programming. Programming is just one aspect of IT field. There are lots of other opportunities that you can use in IT field. Like for example, you can be a system administrator, you can be a network administrator, you can be a UI UX developer, you can be a tester, you can be whatever you want in the entire flow from the business analyst to tester to somebody who's going to be providing support. And these all different kind of job roles require different kind of skill set. So identify what you are good at. Maybe you like programming, maybe you realize that you are good at writing code. Then in that case you should specifically focus on the programming domain and try to understand new technologies, to understand the technology stacks, maybe Java, maybe Python, maybe PHP, maybe C#, maybe .NET. There are lots of options open. The good thing about IT field is that IT field gives you an opportunity to grow in whatever field that you are comfortable in. You need to find out what you are comfortable in. Maybe you do not like programming, but you like to understand how the things work. Maybe you like to understand how the application looks. In that case, possibly you might want to take a look at the UI UX field of the application building. Maybe you like to work with the gadgets. Maybe you like to work with the networking and cables and all that stuff. Then you should probably think about getting into the ITL field, right? Infrastructure management is also a field which is huge. So probably you should start looking at IT as something which is not only programming, but there are lots of options available to you. First of all, you need to find out your liking. Fine. Can you be successful in IT even if you're coming from non-IT background? Definitely. But we need to have clarity of thought. We need to understand how things work, and we need to be clear about where we want to go. And based on that, you can develop your own skill sets. The sky is the limit, as they keep on saying. You need to learn to fly.